So as we were saying, you was talking about Idris Elba, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I
think she was talking.
Okay.
I was basically saying, like, you know, like with when the Kardashians was younger, you know, they groomed them to be like models and like they set the tone, like they set them to like be something. What I'm trying to think, like, what do we like? It never shows like a black successful family like with children, like, you know, like.
But we had that a while ago, and it just got ruined. We had the Cosbys. We had every black show back then that was out had a father and a mother, and they were doctors, and they were going to college, and they were being successful. Nowadays, even down to the cartoons, single family.
So I kind of go ahead.
It's like everything is just, we don't have that no more. Like, for example, somebody said the other day, and it made sense. They said we judge girls, like we always talk about how we used to look when we was younger, how we was ugly, how we dressed tacky, Earl Pastel and everything like that. But they said, what do they have to look up to? It's no more limited to, it's no more nothing for teenagers. So they go straight from being little girls to grown women like us.
Instantly, yeah.
So it's like in the black community.
It's like they ain't gonna do no ugly stage.
They didn't. It's like in the black community.
Straight Dior, straight Chanel.
Baby, I went through all
Like, what the
stages.
fuck?
Right, but it's so much that it's missing now that they took away from us, and we let them. And that's what I mean. Like, we don't have nothing that's just for us. We don't have nothing that's gatekeep just for us. It's like, once we get something, white people just, excuse my language, but they just come in and they ruin it. And I don't mean no harm, but it's like they just take it away, even down to the creativity of the TikTok dances and stuff like that. It's just gone. So
Before anyone, so I seen it was the Chris Brown. Someone was making the TikTok of the Chris Brown, but it was Take You Down. They did a full blown choreography for Take You Down. You know, Take You Down is on the floor grinding in the air. Like, it's just like they really do like.
But overall, like, even with that, like, just like, all right, so we really don't even understand how big media and like little things like really, really, really hurt and affect like our youth and like what they do, how it influences them. And even what you said about like, all right, these little girls, you feel me? The songs that come out now, then like from when we were like going, like we knew certain songs, you feel me? They was trendy, like Pop Lock and Drop It, or like, you know, different.
You knew when to sing it and when not to sing.
But like,
right about that.
Now it's just like, okay, you feel me? Can you really tell me, like, all right, if you go and ask, you know, a random boy who is between the ages of 15 to 23 or like 15 to 22, they're gonna tell you their idols or like the people who they are influenced by is normally a rapper. It's normally a rapper. Like, but it might be like a basketball player like LeBron James or something like that, but it's just like.
Did you see that interview with Young Boy? And he talks about how he really realizes how much he has damaged people. But you have to understand the damage in sells. So the people who are like over top of him, his managers and everything, they are pushing him to do these things. And now he's like, I don't want to. Like, once he came out, like, I'm not even gonna hold you. The youth is they just flipped. It's more killing and drug dealing. And
I feel like it wasn't just him. I feel like it was like 𝚙𝚎'𝚛𝚎.
One though,
like just all of the stuff.
He's really like messed up now about it. He's like, yo, I really damaged this Gen Z or whatever they call. He damaged them.
Yeah,
but it's nothing he can do now to reverse it.
Yeah,
because people not gonna want to hear that. They're not gonna want to hear him talking about peace.
Right.
Yeah, but I think outside of that, even with our youth, we have to think about it. What do they have to look forward to or like to look up to? Like, especially when you come from the inner city. When I think about like who I used to like, girls that I used to look up to, it was girls that was like, you know, like that dressed nice, was messing with like messing with a drug dealer. Like, it just so happened like my family was like kind of like, you know, like we had nurses and things like people who like were really looking up to, but everyone didn't have that. So you got to think about it now. It's like, who do these kids look up to? They look up to like rappers, drug dealers, like, you know, things like
you don't like. I just feel like when it comes to like, because, and also for me, I feel like this, our children are growing up faster, and even in like their teen years, like even when they like first turn 18, like it's like they instantly selling hair or like they instantly have a business. And don't get me wrong, you feel me? I think like, you know,
or getting their body done. or getting that body done. Like
Okay.
But you know what is the real catch to all of it, and what's the main root of this problem? Parents are not parenting anymore. And that's why youth is the way it is.
So now that we on the topic of youth, because this kind of just, transition into that, I did, and I'm going to let everybody talk. I did want to talk about, the things that that's going on in our city. I think everybody here is from Baltimore City or whatever, Baltimore period. But there were 2 shootings, with students in their school, in high school, within Baltimore City. And we definitely seen 2 different reactions when it came to, 2 different interviews when it came to, our mayor's response on what he thought about, the issues and what he thought about, really was what he just, gave a response where, he felt like, the parents weren't parenting, but also I feel like it was he kind of blamed, parents, they need to, I agree with that part, but what I also agree with, to me, is okay, parents definitely need to parent. You feel me? Definitely. I feel like it's just definitely a lot of people who aren't scolding their children, who aren't, telling them what's right or wrong. But also, I saw a video where someone said this recently. The problem is everybody is trying to stunt for somebody, or the parents now was out in a club, or it was something in regards to like all the parents now are trying to be impressive to one another. Everybody trying to be impressive to one another, that it's really that you're home, really staying home, really doing what you're supposed to do, taking care of your responsibility, and really parenting your child. You understand what I'm saying? Because honestly, a lot of things that occur, either parents really, I'm gonna just say this because this is a prime example. Okay, so we all know, Fox 45 News did a coverage on, the boy who failed basically his entire 3-4 years or whatever, and he had to go back and take all of his courses all over again. He was in high school because they was just letting him go by, letting him just skip through his courses or just give him a grade or just anything, and the whole time he was not there. Did y'all hear about that story?
I didn't hear about that one, but I do know the schools are really failing right now.
But that was another thing. It was just all right. Also, it was just them saying county schools and city schools, these kids can't read, these kids can't write, these kids' test scores are ass. But I know when I was in school, we was doing BCRs, we was doing.
My family ain't played that.
We was doing what was it, the MSA? We was doing different stuff.
And we had
and I'm just trying to figure out what's the dynamic with the education system. What's the structure? What are y'all doing? What are y'all implementing? But at the same time, these kids are bad as shit. You can't tell them shit. They think they're growner than you.
It's and I also feel if you, and I could be wrong, but I feel if you don't grab a kid by a certain age, they're done for. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's literally it's no turning around. And I feel especially with high schoolers, you see it's some teachers that really get up and go and really try. It's just they're too far gone. It's they're too grown. It just doesn't really, it's kind of hard to kind of grasp what's really going on, because I think about when we were in high school and I'm we were not we were bad.
Hold on, I cannot say that we were bad, but it's just a little bit different now. Yeah, it's really crazy.
It's really crazy.
I'm older, so I'm gonna just say back then, $20 for the mall just to chill with your friends, we was fine with that. Sure. Nowadays, kids feel at 13 you gotta sell drugs just to have nice things. And then your parent is more worried about sending you to school and designer than your education. And I'm going to be honest, these schools don't have teachers. And it's just it's a fail at home and it's a fail at school too. And it's honestly, I don't even know who to blame at this point, because I have friends who work in the school system and it's a sub and they're sitting there and I'm where's the teacher? Why are they up so loud in the background? It's no teacher for weeks. This school started September, it's still no teacher, and here it is March. My nieces, they have no teacher. Why is everything still, we're not doing COVID anymore. Why are y'all still doing everything online with no teacher? They don't care. And it's that's because the No Child Left Behind Act came out. They just passing them on. And then your parent, they got.
But look, you ask these children to do anything on TikTok or TikTok dance or anything like that, they know all of that. But when it comes to you being educated or being knowledgeable, or knowing little basic shit, you can't tell me nothing. You can't even write a paper. And you know, for me, one of the things for me that I really appreciate about my high school and the high school I went to City College, you know, City Feather. But like, me coming from the school that I came from, I think like coming to City was definitely like a cultural shock, really. But like one thing I can say is the teachers cared about the students. And they definitely taught me, they definitely set me up for college. They definitely set me up to know how to write a paper, know how to write a thesis statement, know how to, you know, have topic sentences, know how to have paragraphs, knowing that dynamic, knowing how to structure certain things. One thing that anybody who went to City can tell you is if you were skipping class, you was never skipping class just to skip class. You were skipping class to do a paper or do some homework or do something in the library for another class. It was just that. And you know, like normally people had like, you know, A days, B weeks, all of that stuff. I never had that. Throughout my whole entire 4 weeks, never had that. Let me tell you what I had. 7 classes every single day. Even in my senior year, I never had like just
go home early.
Never had that. You understand what I'm saying?
College courses.
Yeah,
to do it wrong.
What they now I'm in an IB course or like I'm just like like so it's just like to me it's just like I feel like it's time to really get into these schools and ask, you know, what's the you know curriculum, like what is the structure, what are we teaching our kids, and why do they not want to, you know, do certain things, why don't they want to participate? And also to me, I think it's sometimes we don't have enough teachers who are meeting the students where they are. Because to me, I feel like there are some students who just want to live this lifestyle of being like what they see. But there are also some students, well, I know for a fact in Baltimore City, who do actually go through some real shit. Or do actually like encounter some things that they shouldn't. You feel me? At the young age that they are. So it's just like, you know, go ahead, Chloe.
And I think like with these teachers, even though you do come to teach, I think like when you're dealing with kids, especially from the inner city, you have to be relatable. Because when kids feel like you can't relate to them or you don't understand where they come from, it's like a rebel.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and then you do have kids that are facing real life shit and have to fend for themselves at a very young age. So it takes away from them really being able to be a kid. Because I know a lot of kids that really have to be an adult when they should have to really be at home being a kid, but they have to fend for themselves. So then that also goes back on like other programs and things that they offer for like people who don't have it, because that's another thing. Even you got the parents that do have it, and then you got the parents who don't have it, and they trying to do the best they can with what they can. So then you might have a mom, she's working 24/7 to try to keep a roof over our child here, so she's not there to really be on her kids, so he's doing whatever. So I think like it's really, really important to bring people that can be like relatable or have like, I had guidance counselors. Like, you go to your guidance counselor, everything. Like, they had all these things that you can do. Like, if you had, like, say, like, if you were hungry, you didn't have food at home. There's, like, programs like that. It was all these things set up for, like, kids if they needed it. I don't even think that's, like...
But, go ahead, girl.
Ask them, can y'all tell us from, like, a male point of view of being young and
seeing...
trying to further your education and then dealing with your friends who is on a whole different type of... you know, time.
Oh, but also like being the age that you are now, because y'all are now like, you know, in that mid-20s age, and now you guys see, you know, like the 18-year-olds, or like when you see certain things of how things are differently now, with more so our males dying quicker than, you know, our females as African Americans and as black men and women. How do we really feel like, you know, because I just really, to me, I feel like really the problem is structure and discipline. And so I really kind of want to revert back to the mayor's response and his point of view on how he felt. Like, you know, like he said, you know, like, don't ask me no stupid question, all that stuff. Honestly, I feel like this. Yes, you feel me? Sometimes the media tries to, you know, take your words and misconstrue them and really fuck it up and really make you look like a bad person, because I feel like when it comes to politics in Baltimore City, I feel like if any little thing, if you got, like, you know, if you do anything fraudulent, if you do any small little thing
when you're black
in this city, they trying to take you out, or they trying to take you from office, or they trying to do certain things. So for me, I get his point or his standpoint on it, but at the same time, I feel like the people do want to know, like, what programs are you bringing for the youth during the summertime? Because once the summertime comes, that's when most of our youth get killed. And they so it's just like
there's no rec centers.
Exactly. So I'm like,
But that's the thing though, where he's in between a real rock and a hard place.
I agree.
Simply just because you have people like may have elders that can come up or people that's really residents of the city and want to know what needs to happen for it to be able to change. But I'm creating these programs. He has started a lot of after school programs. A lot of these incidents happen around, like the girl that was close to, I forget what elementary school she was close to, and she was shot near that campus, but it was an after school program going on. And I feel like, especially because he's a little bit younger, he feels he could speak a lot more freely. And as I've been getting older, I watch the news every single night I try to, and I never see the police commissioner there. I never see the governor there. We have a new black governor. He has not addressed Baltimore one time.
Exactly. I agree
So
with that.
it's at a point where it's like, what do you really expect me to do? All he does is be in the community. You may be at a basketball
I do
game.
see him out. I do see him out. But, you know, and I think, like, the biggest issue is gun control. But I feel like there's never going to be no way to really control gun control. So then it's going to always be, like, an issue. Because he can set these things up, like you say, because there are some programs. But if that's just like, you give a gun to a 13, because it's 13 and 14-year-olds really out here catching bodies. You give a gun to a kid that don't really know no better, and you got like somebody older who don't have no fucking sense, who's, you know, like grooming him to be that and tell him go do something, he go do it.
But a lot of times, I think a lot of our youth take things not seriously. Like, they don't care about shit. Like, everything is a joke. Everything is funny. Like, and even with these big ass older adults, like throughout the city, sometimes a lot of these people are older in age, but immature as fuck. And it's just like, you feel me? Everybody trying to be cool, or everybody trying to be young still. Everybody trying to be hip. Right. Nobody wants to have true correction of what should really actually be done. And I really feel like that's really one of the biggest problems. I feel like one of the biggest problems in our city is really actually true discipline. Like, people feel like, oh, I know that shit gonna get thrown out. I know this charge, I'm gonna beat this charge or this case and all this different shit. And so when it's really not, when people really aren't getting true disciplinary action taken against the things that they do that are not right, anything goes. And I feel like for so long in the city, anything has been going for a long time. So now when you actually try to implement certain things, people think like you joking, like, oh,
we got a new it was a new Ivan. It's Ivan. What's the? I
think so.
He said he created basically like a new, well, either he created or he's going to like a new gun law.
Did he?
Who?
What are you talking about?
I
know who Ivan Bass is. I don't know if he's won enough.
He's in office now, but he just got in office.
These one the governor or
one of them? I'm not sure the name. I have to look it up. But he's really big on gun control. And now he's saying, like, you know, you get caught with a gun, like it's like 5 years or something like that.
I heard about that on the radio. I think I heard. I don't know his name, but I know the reference that you're trying to make. But like, for me, it's just like this. Honestly, I feel like the man needs to actually start really making some true, like, decisions where it's like, this is what it is. And if y'all don't like it, that's on y'all until y'all act right. It should be no reason why we're seeing a body drop at least every single day. We have 365 days in a year. We're up to like 350 deaths in a year. Like, so a person is dying literally every single day in Baltimore City. That should be said.
Young boys not making it to see 18.
But I feel like we can't blame the man for everything.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm blaming him. Only thing that I'm saying, honestly, and that's why I said I believe in both things that he is saying.
He at work. When he get off, he going home. Like, he cannot control like what's going out there on the streets. And it's like, that's why I'm like, as for like men, like, what do y'all think as far as like for the youth? Like, how can you get a handle on it? Or like, what was different when y'all was growing up? Or like, what made y'all not want to go down that path?
I think it was exposure for real. Like,
depending on how you was raised.
Yeah, like it's all about it. Now it's really about exposure. These niggas getting exposed to that shit early for real. Like, I think my family. I come from a good family, but. You know, you still got certain niggas in the family who really bought it for real, but our family made sure we stayed away from them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know what niggas was up to until like 4 or 5 years ago for real.
And so the biggest word that you said was exposure, but go ahead.
No, for real.
Like what you're exposed to, when you're exposed to so much, and when like you're allowed, I feel like a lot of kids are allowed a lot of exposure when it comes to like the media, what they see. Like we allow our kids to do a lot.
Too
Or
early.
people it too soon.
My grandmother didn't play. I couldn't come off the porch. I couldn't watch
Too
certain things.
soon.
It just was like back then. It was really like a
I
like,
still believe in discipline.
It's no more fear. That's what it is. We were scared. We could probably do whatever we wanted to do, but there's a certain group of girls who did do what they want to do, and men who did what they want to do, and the rest of us is like, oh no, I ain't getting this ass whooping.
Yeah.
I played a lot, but I ain't played with her.
Okay.
Like,
And that's what I'm saying.
I
And these
never.
kids nowadays, they are playing.
They are.
They don't care. Like they literally don't care if they get put out. They don't care if their parents tell them I'm gonna stop doing stuff for you. Like they don't.
But I feel like our kids are now like emotionless. Like they have no emotion about anything, no feelings towards anything. That's why it's so easy for them to kill. You feel me? That's why it's so easy for them to rob, and steal, and do certain things, because they really truly
No conscience, and you really gotta think about it.
not even think about their decisions, not thinking about anything, and being influenced by what they see and people doing, thinking that it's like certain people on social media, it's not like that.
Yeah,
Like the people that people really look up to is not like that.
Yeah, as you get older, you really do start to realize that. But as far as it kind of is a joke for certain people in different age brackets, because I feel like I saw that this was happening in Maryland, but I know for sure they've already passed this in New York. They aren't even arresting young teens for certain crimes anymore if you're under a certain age. Unless it has to do.
But see,
with
that's what was
murder
going
and
on
things
here
like
with
that.
Marilyn Mosby, like little petty crimes. She like, all right, like weed, and okay, I do get that. You understand what I'm saying? To me, because like I just feel like whatever when it comes to weed. But you feel me? Like certain gun charges, you feel me? Certain things were like being dropped. Like certain people was getting off. Certain people, like after a while, once the court date, like people were being let off for certain things that they did. But also like, all right, so this was like just something that I thought of, but like, and I think that people will hate this, but like, if you actually implement true rules, like curfew rules, not even just for the teenagers, but for the adults. So say like, no, for real, because like,
girl, you ain't going.
I'm just saying this, like, no, seriously, the problem is because everybody thinks shit a joke and shit sweet. So I feel like actually putting your foot down and actually like, all right, you feel me? I'm really tired of seeing so many murders. Shit shut down at 9 p.m. until everybody can act right.
During the riot,
bro.
and niggas was still dying.
Niggas don't care.
I'm just saying, like,
Niggas do not care.
to me, shit just needs to be done.
Nothing
Like,
that's going to change. People are dying
it's-
at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. on their way to work. People are dying. Like, you be like, why you need to brush your teeth? Why are you out killing somebody?
That's what
People
I'm saying.
dying
That's why I started at
Christmas
home.
Day. You're supposed to be home opening up gifts with your family, but you out here killing somebody. Like, it does not.
It's the fact that guns are so accessible, and you gotta think about it, you get the gun in the wrong hand, then what? Like even like some little boys, they itching to prove a point. So they gonna do whatever, and adults too. Like it's itching to prove a point. So it's just like you just so ready to just jump out there and do anything. And then a lot of things is these kids are into shit, like adult shit. So it's not saying it's right that some people are dying, but these kids are doing are out here really doing.
but exposure, like you said, like
it's
crazy.
really crazy.
It really is.
And back when we was in school, niggas was sports, stuff like that.
That's what
Most we was doing was smoking weed.
What my pops had me doing everything.
I just feel like even during the summer for us, like there was little programs. What's the program during the summer? Youth Works.
We was in Youth
But
Works.
one thing I can say that I really do love is that they have been really like redesigning the recreation centers, because at a point in time they was really ready to shut down all the fucking recreation centers, and that shit was crazy to me, because why are y'all doing that? Why are you taking recreation centers out of the fucking community?
Because
and literally all of them were shut down.
That's why, like, you gotta understand.
And
Y'all
that
got no
costs
set of
money.
friends.
Non-profit.
That's true.
Taxpayer dollars.
That's
Like
true.
you said, you going to school. I'm pretty sure you had some friends that might have made fun of that. Like, oh, this nigga smart. Black people will really laugh at you for the dumbest
Ignorance.
things. Like,
Joking.
oh, this nigga
Thinking
really
shit.
got an education. They
Bitch,
and then next thing
what?
you know, you don't want to go to school no more. Because he idiot over here who's illiterate, reading on the 5th grade level, then laughed at you for going to college. And it's like nowadays, somebody find out you going to youth work, so you doing an after school program, or you doing something swimming, or.
But this is why I say everybody be trying to look cool. Everybody be trying to follow trends and look cool and all of this stuff. And sometimes that's why I said most of these youth aren't like that, but they're heavily influenced by what they see, what's on social media, chains, the money, the glitz, the glam, and they do not know, and they do. And so that's why when we was just talking about 18-year-olds now with the business and all that stuff, by all means I say get your money, you feel me? If you can get your money, make your money. I'm not saying that, but also live your life as a young adult. Like experience some stuff, like actually enjoy life. And I feel like it's just at a point where these children really like be trying to go straight to adulthood. Like adulthood is not fucking fun.
In the mall, we were fine with that. We were fine with just living. Now
these kids don't know how to have fun without the phone either.
Oh yeah.
And then I also feel like rec centers really saved a lot of kids and kept you out of a lot of things. I know I got out of a lot of stuff, like, because I used to be at the rec doing chill, doing like little things. It keeps you busy. Mm-hmm. So it's like you take that away from kids that we're not gonna focus on the kids that don't, but what about the kids that do? Mm-hmm. And it's like they go all this time without anything, and then they're easily influenced because it's like, damn, I don't have nothing to go to, I don't have nothing to do, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I feel like rec.
Now I'm running the streets. Now I'm trying to find something to get into.
You know, too. A lot of these agendas that they push, like these men are not fighting no more. I'm gonna be honest, like. Back then, we had no choice but to fight. So it's like these men nowadays, they can't fight. So the first thing they can do is get that gun.
But actually, a lot of people's, like you said earlier, a lot of people's pride be in the way, and a lot of people get. I feel like everybody wants to prove that they hard,
right?
Everybody want to prove that they like. I'm not like that. You can't bully. Like you can't. I'm like hold tight. Like all right, we get it. Everybody want to be macho.
I really think, but I feel like when situations like that, it really shows what type of man you are. Because I don't give who you are or what you are. It comes a time when you gotta when to hold and when to fall. Mm-hmm. Like some things you gotta fall back on. There's been a lot of, even at work and things like that, when you want to lash out or you want to do these ththings, but you really can't. It's like you really have to be able, and that's where like your mindset comes in. Is it really worth it? Because I've been in a lot of situations.
Poor choices and poor decisions.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of situations. Things not worth it.
I tell my older brothers, he's older by 2 years, and I tell him this all the time. The difference in us is my brother is very, who you talking to? And he's gonna crack you. He has a gun, but he's not gonna go get his gun. He's going before you even got a chance. So that's kind of how I was taught. Like before a person even have a chance to walk away, I ain't gonna give you that chance. But I have to tell him all the time because like I done been around him in numerous amount of fights. Like I mean numerous to the point where last time we were in Vegas and it was me, him, my sister, my nephew, his my boyfriend at the time, his best friend, his girlfriend. And we were in Vegas and they were fighting a big brawl came out and I was crying because I had to let them know like you are the rock of our family. Like if something happens
I just wanted to say that. I was trying to wait
like if something happened to you, we're gonna be we all gonna be dead. Like we don't know what to do. Like that's gonna hurt us. Like you gotta really learn how to change.
I feel like men sometimes don't realize how much
they hold it together.
Yes, but they are the leaders. Y'all are the like. And so sometimes I feel like now so much why women are taking on the roles of men is because of the simple fact of sometimes I'll say some, our mindset is like women are now getting to that shit, like, or getting that shit done, or like, you know, doing certain things that are like more so progressive towards our future, like even if it's not with like a man or anything like that. And I feel like some men fall by the wayside with certain things that are going on out in the world, trying to keep up and different things like that, where it's like if you actually like, I feel like we can work so much more together if we actually get the mindset out of our community of, you feel me, like I'm trying to impress this person, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do that, and actually just really, 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 really just be ourselves, or like just be not on certain shit and actually just lead, actually be a part of something, actually be a man with influence, true influence, beyond trying to be flossing with the chains, all this different shit like that. Like actually really putting some real work in out here in the world, like actually being a part of something.
These young men aren't being taught to lead. It just comes down to parenting and how you're being raised on an everyday basis, because you have a lot of men nowadays, even adults, that like how you was talking about how he may react fast to things. A lot of men react off of emotions, and it's until you're taught that in your life by another man. Men are supposed to be able to think, to be able to actually make decisions, and then you stand on them. So many men operate off of emotions and just are so quick to show their emotions. That's why so many different people are walking time bombs. You know, as soon as something, they may be holding on to something from 2 weeks ago, but you right here today is what made it come out. And, you know, and I can't be able to differentiate my decisions. Okay, I need to just be able to chill, just be able to sit back and truly be able to think about this entire situation.
We can. That's all you have to do. Like jail or, you know.
I think then, like, a lot of people have to be in survival mode. And I feel like here you're automatically in survival mode because you can be minding your business. You can be, it's like, you get what I'm saying? You just in survival mode. Even like when I went away to school in a different state, they're like, why are you so aggressive? And I'm like, I'm not fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
But then when I really thought, and I sat back and I looked at how everybody else was acting, I'm like, relax. Like, you're not home anymore. But it's like you have to be in survival mode. You have to be on point. You have to watch your surroundings. You have to do all these things.
We don't even realize, even though like you're not like that, but when you go somewhere else and you realize, like, damn, like, I am like that. Like, so I had went to St. Louis or whatever, and I had took a trip, and, you know, I met my friends there, and they're from like different cities and different things like that. So we met up and went on a trip, and, you know, they always be like, oh my God, you just so, why are you like that? And I'm just like, I'm being normal. Like, I'm being normal. I'm being myself. But like, sometimes I have to realize, like, why like, why am I like that? Like, I am a little aggressive, like, I am a little hype, like, I do need to, like,
you are really aggressive, but I feel like it's natural.
Yeah, for us it's just like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I feel like it's natural. I feel like it's, like you said, just surroundings.
Yeah,
like for me, my parents are married. I went to private school. My mother get anything that I could dream of, my parents gonna give me. But I felt like when I was younger, at one point I was on the right path, and then I started hanging with people who weren't, and that's just kind of what I gravitated to. So at one point I was like wild and reckless, and now I look back, and I had somebody ask me the other day, like, what would you go back to? And I'm like, I would literally go back to me in high school and finish all the things that I should accomplish. I should have went this way, and instead I went left. And it's like so many things, like, why was I hanging around these people? Why was I doing like things I had no business doing, being in a mix, things that's getting females killed now, I was doing. But back then, like, I'm 30, so it was different then. But now it's like, oh my God, like, I wouldn't dare now, but it's like I feel bad for these females and the misdirection of these kids because they don't have that. But I don't think people also think what they doing is wrong. So like with us being aggressive, like you're saying, it come naturally. Like, we have options, because I meet people on the daily who was not aggressive at all. People I went to school with, people who they don't have to be hard. They don't have to have that exterior up. And it's like two totally different things with going to private school and how everybody acted there to me switching back to public school, and how everybody's so no new friends, they just off the rip. You look at a female, she want to fight, like, just a difference. And I feel like we got a choice, but a lot of people don't take that.
A lot of these, and you know, I'll go back to this too. A lot of these niggas don't got father figures in their life for real. So
yeah.
it's kind of hard. Like, I don't want to say it's hard for them. I don't want to make excuses for niggas, but like, they don't know right from wrong because they don't have that guy. They don't got that guy to look up to say, yo, nigga, you fucked up. You feel me? Or don't do this shit. Like, my pops, as soon as I fuck up, he gonna tell me straight up what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or back in the day, he used to jack me up, all this other shit. But I knew it's certain shit that wasn't rocking for real.
But like, all right, so when it comes to discipline, like, how do we feel about, like,
whoop they ass?
Because I don't feel like, and I feel that way. I swear to God, I feel that way. I feel like a lot of these kids.
I never gotta be. I
can't beat my daughter.
My brother got that ass whacked, but I never got.
I can't beat my daughter.
I just believe in, like, not even in getting that ass whooped, but like knowing that I'm not fucking playing with you. Like, I feel like sometimes these kids don't really, you know, like, in just the disrespect overall, it shows in your home growing and in your home training and your raising, like, how you respect people, like how you even, you know, just move, and just how you even are when you're out in the world dealing with older people or dealing with people who are more older than you. Like, these people, these children don't have no fucking respect.
Don't respect their elders.
Listen, I don't like, one thing about me I don't play about is disrespect when it comes to older people or different things like that. So I know for me, when I have a child, you feel me, and with me knowing how I am sometimes, you know, I mean no disrespect, but like if you feel like, you feel me, if your child is doing something wrong, and I don't believe like beating the shit out your child, I'm never gonna do that, but I might scold them or discipline them. You understand? Like, I might tell them something.
Girl, get the belt.
But like, no, but sometimes some of these parents nowadays like, oh, you can't hit my child, or you can't say this, or you can't say that. Fuck that. Real
My
shit.
mom was
I'm
the
a type
mom
of
to
person,
tell
and I
a
feel like if
teacher
you,
they could put their hands on
I feel like
right.
if you're the way of like, oh, you can't do this, you can't say this, you can't do that. That's a fucking problem right there. You feel me? And I feel like, no, I'm not gonna say if I feel like someone is really like trying to beat the shit out your child, I'm not with that. You understand what I'm saying? But if I feel like something that your child did was wrong and they need to be corrected, I'm a type of person I feel I'm going to correct
And that's
them.
another thing. People don't like when you correct their kids. Not even discipline their kids, but correct them. They don't like that neither. Like,
and I feel like these children really need true correction on what the fuck they're doing out here.
Let me
like,
tell you why that is. Because, Jeanette, we are really our parents. Whether we believe it or not, I'm going to be honest, because I feel like I have so many traits of my parents. It's crazy. And a lot of people, when they realize how their kids are, they don't like it. But they also are scared to change it. They also are scared to step up. So you know your child a liar. But if somebody else was to say they lying or say something bad about your child, next thing you know, you standing up for them. But you scared to say like, all right, I know my child a liar. I know my child, like, you know, before now people like, I don't care what the teacher say. My child always right. No,
I don't agree with that.
Shit.
I
know some people like that, and I do not agree with
I
stuff
don't
like
either.
that.
But a lot of people do that.
They do. And I feel like that's part of setting the kid up for failure, because it's like then when you do come into contact with someone who like sets you straight or you know and you are wrong, you don't know how to
take that.
You don't know how to take that. You don't know how to respond to that. So then there's another issue. I don't know if because I was raised by my grandmother, so everything with me is really different because she was older. So when my grandma was probably like 60. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with me getting older, a lot of things I look at different as opposed to someone who was raised by someone like that was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Because, you know, grandparents were kind of like, they didn't play that.
Yeah.
So, and now it's just like, I think that when you look at like some of these kids and you look at like everything that's going on, it's just like, it's the parents. And that's not something that anyone can change. Not a mayor, not a gun. It's like, it's the parents. So
it's what you instill in them,
It's what you
basically.
really instill in them. And it's just like,
if you let them keep getting away with certain things, they feel like, oh, you can't tell me this, I can't, oh, who are you to tell me this and tell me that? My own people don't even, and it's just like, for me, it's just like, I really, like, no, for real, like, I'm not, okay, just like you said, all right, my father is 60, you feel me? So, like, it's a difference for me because my father didn't fucking play. You understand what I'm saying? Like, my father did not fucking play with me, like, I knew what was up, like, and I didn't play with him either. You understand what I'm saying? But I respect, like, it's just like I respect, like, I think now more so I appreciate the home training and the way that I was raised because when you see how certain things are going outside of that, you like, what the fuck is going on?
I had a conversation. I'm like, I appreciate all the days when I couldn't come off the porch, when I couldn't go outside.
But those lessons that they teach you, and you once you get older and you grow in life, you appreciate it and value it so much more.
But
like
when you're younger, you don't want to.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. So mad. I used to be like, my grandmother. She do not like me. She don't let me do anything. And then
now she your best friend.
You know why?
Girl, what? I got older. I'm like,
that's how it be. Now they become your
What?
best friend.
And it's just like,
listen.
I even value some of that, like old time music and all of that. Like I value just the certain things that, like little things that you like don't even realize you pay attention to.
Like y'all said, it's the blind leading the blind. Cause like my parents are older. My mother's 63. My father in his 70s. And my friend back then, her mother's still young, like in her 40s now. And her mother had I think like 14. We always
that was the fun house, right?
She was always gone.
That was the fun house.
We watched
That
her
was the
little
fun
brother.
house.
We couldn't leave because we had to watch him. But her mother always partied. And then I had another friend who was like that. Like we always watched her two younger siblings while her mother always went out and party. But now they party together. And now her child is solely with her grandmother. Like, yeah, she sees her child. Yeah, she might go over there.
That's what I was talking about.
Her mother.
When I said these
with her mother.
the parenting be fucked up because of simple fact of the age bracket and the different things and how the parents be trying to keep up with the youth and trying to be stunting and showing up. And it's like, you have what, like, all right, don't get me wrong, if you handling your business, you taking care of your shit, you doing what you're supposed to do, but there's a way that you move. You understand what I'm saying? There's a way that you, like, you 35, you 40, trying to keep up with the scene. Fuck the scene.
I feel like it's okay if, like, for example, my sister is in her 40s, but my nephew's 21. He's grown. And I feel like once your kids is grown, you got the opportunity to travel, to lay back. Like, you work your job, you run your household, but now you got the opportunity if you want to go party to party.
Absolutely.
But she handled her business first the whole entire time in his life and set him on the right path. So I feel like when you got parents who are like that, it's cool to have your fun. Because, like me, when I get older, I want to have my fun. Like, I want my child to be old enough to where his own, like I say, he's 21, she in her late 40s, she doing her thing. But I also feel like these parents, just when you so young, you have you battle between trying to be in the scene and out of the scene. And I don't want to say no names, but like somebody I know, they have kids, and at one point, they were trying to, like, they were hiding pregnancies, and have a baby Tuesday and at a party Wednesday. And I'm like, how the hell could you do this? And they like, I got to keep up my image. And it's like, at what point do you get where you like, I got to let all of this go? What image? When you get to the point where you want to give your child up for adoption, or you want to hide your kid, or you don't want to parent, and giving your baby literally to a family member, letting them take care of your child for the first 3 months of their life because you are out partying. At what point do you say, like, I got to get myself together? And a lot of these people don't see what's wrong. They don't see that it's wrong.
Sometimes they don't. And you want to know what's crazy? I feel like and that's not what they need. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like that kid may be better off with that family member. You get what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I don't know. My most of my friends have kids that are they're great moms, like really great moms. So when I see that, it's like, I don't understand how you can, like, have a kid and not be like, be like a full-time parent, be active, be around, like, you just throw them off. I don't see that, because I see, like, how my friends deal with their kids and how they are. So it's just like, for you to be like a mom, because they say it's a different kind of feeling, like a whole thing. I don't have kids, so I don't know. Right. But to be a mom and you just have the ability to just throw your kid off and go about your business, it's like, does that kid even really need to belong to be around you?
Yeah.
I understand the break. I understand everything.
Yeah, I do, and I get all of that. If you're taking care of your responsibilities and maybe you're solely doing the work and all of that, listen, as long as you're handling your business, to go out and do have your little fun. You feel me? Being responsible, all that. But it's also like a real man or a real woman who take care of their responsibilities or the things they're supposed to do, or like just instill, like you say, even when you're 21, the child is now 21. I know for a fact that I raised this child right. I know for a fact I instill morals and values in this child where they can go out in the world and I feel like they're safe, they're okay, and I don't have to, I'm going to always worry. I think as a mother, I'm not a mother, but I feel like, I have a mother, but so it's just like, I feel like you're going to always worry about them. You're going to always, do certain things, but knowing that I raised them right, knowing that I gave them the best and did the best for them, enjoy your life after that. You understand what I'm saying?
You know how I feel? I really feel like as men, it comes back to us, because like I sit here and I've listened to all these different opinions that you guys have, like how you were raised by your grandmother, or a lot of kids may get dumped off to different family members. It comes down to us men. A lot of men aren't being fathers. So whereas though, okay, yes, you can have your break, do whatever you would like. My child is with me. Versus my child may be with my aunt or his grandmother. However it may go down, us men aren't stepping up on an everyday basis and really being able to take care of our children, really be able to guide them in those right paths. So it really just comes back down to us really taking care of what we need to take care of. So
and that's true. And I feel like my brother, he has 5 daughters, and he has 5 kids. 4 daughters, 1 boy, and all 3 girls have 1 mother. 1 doesn't, but he has sole custody of her from when she was first born to the point where, though her mother is young, she's 28, but I would go to the doctor's appointment with him. They'd be like, "Oh, hi, mom," and I'm like, "I'm not mom," but he has literally from day one. She lives with him, the other kids and their mother. They all live together, and he take care of his kids. So it's like, to see that's very rare. Like, a lot of these men, they getting their kids on the weekend, or they not getting them at all, or they don't want to step up. And I feel like once you have father figures are important. I'm a daddy's girl. I love my father. I love my father dearly, and I'm just thankful that I have a father, because it's such a difference I see with friends who don't have a father versus the ones that do. Their mindset, when I say mindsets are
your father teach you a lot. Your father puts you on game a lot.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like girls who have like great relationships with their dad, they deal with guys differently. Do you think?
Yes.
But
it's because of the game that your father put on you, or what he teach you, or it's just overall how your father handles you, how he deals with you, y'all bond, y'all relationship.
But I'm gonna say I'm different. My mother is more masculine. She's a Leo, and my mother. But so the difference, no, I'm for real. The difference between my parents is my mother don't play. My father's so laid back, like he's just gonna go with the flow. She is up. That's the general. And he's someone you would think the roles are switched. Like she doesn't play. So like she has taught me. My father, I would hang with him from when I was younger. He took me everywhere. I was always with him, always by his side. But he never really had to tell me like things not to do in life, or like what not to do. And man, we never really had those conversations because he would be there when my mother's telling me. Like my mother don't play around. Like her father taught her well, and this is that. Like she told me like from jump about men, how to go about things and stuff like that. And she does not cut cards with anything. So I think with me, learning what I learned, I stood on that from a young age. Like that's why I'm kind of like I had to learn how to tone down the masculine energy.
Girl,
Leo have a lot
that's
of
Libra's biggest problem. Libra's biggest problem is that there, like it, but it's no, for real, because like all right, like it's like. And I don't mean to get into this, but like, yo, for us, like, we have to feel secure, safe. Right. And I feel like, you feel me? A lot of times, like, if we feel like you can't handle the dynamic of us and being certain, like, having certain roles played, like, then it ain't gonna work out, because
but I was ruined by that. My mother would tell me like she cut a guy off for not buying her soda from the store because he told her he got soda at home.
That's that Leo shit. That's that Leo shit.
So when I learned Leo's for sure. But some Libras don't allow you to lead them. So it like.
I think our problem is we see certain fucking qualities and we be like, I don't like that shit. To a nigga who
I feel like I'm very submissive.
do that.
I feel like I have been very submissive, but I feel like you have to really not like, you know, something like you gotta show me that you gotta leave, but I feel like it's something that you give off. I know
it's the aura. We love the aura of just like
it's some guys. You know, it's some guys.
It's like I love a man, but I don't have to tell you how to be a like. I don't have to tell you how to move. I don't have to tell you how to be a boss. You just naturally.
It's like they guys that walk in and they like they just step.
It's just him. It's him. It's not on
It's the whole demeanor. I'm gonna be submissive, but you gotta
show me.
You gotta. Yeah.
I think man, like me personally, I know I'm learning that now because I never really been in that like leadership position until I got to this age, right?
Yeah, you look like you go with the flow.
I really. Yeah, you're right.
It's cool.
I've always been a go with the flow type of nigga for real. But now that I'm like older, I'm in a leadership position. I'm trying to break out of that shell of going with the flow. I'm trying to be that leader. So it's something that you learn. It's a transition. It's a transition.
You look like you don't fuck around.
I don't fuck around. My mother didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Find out.
One thing I'm gonna tell you, my mother taught me that her father taught her. Don't do anything for a man that you're not going to continue to do. My mother, let me tell you, my mother don't cook. My mother don't clean. My father pays the bills. My father cleans. My father washes clothes. My mother, she went to work, came home. That's that. She didn't start nothing that she wasn't going to finish because that's just what she didn't want to do. She set ground rules when she met him. What works for them works for them. A lot of
but that's what I
depends on what you're looking for, what you want to know.
But like you said, set the tone.
She set the tone.
I feel like you have to set the tone.
So that kind of ruined me because when she would be telling me these things, I'm looking for these qualities, but a lot of these men can't get these qualities. So I had to learn to separate what I was taught
and what you
what's going on today. But I can be very submissive to a man, but like you said, he has already had those qualities for me to lead. Like I would love for a man to lead me.
Please leave me, boo.
I try.
Listen, for real. The biggest thing I think men sometimes get misconstrued that women want to be the. I don't want to be.
I'm a damn
want to be masculine.
I don't want to be that way.
I'm drowning.
I don't want to be masculine. I don't want to be. I don't want to be you, boo. I'm gonna let you do that.
I want to be masculine
I'm good
in some ways. The bedroom, I want to turn up, but everything else, I want you to be able to like.
That's why I'm
daddy. You got it.
Damsel in distress.
You got it.
Like,
I just didn't want. Early on, I just didn't want to be that nigga who didn't all his ducks in a row.
You know, and I feel like sometimes men do worry about that though.
It depends on where you meet a guy.
So look, right. This was for my. I have a on Saturday. I have an all men session. It's going to just be me and men, so I can hear their perspectives of because I feel like sometimes you should. I mean, we always hear the women's perspective, but we rarely like. Have men talking about what they want, what they feel, how they feel, what their ideas of success is, what they really, really, truly want with certain things. I feel like sometimes we always hear about, I feel like women know what they want. Men, like, I feel like that's identifiable. But when it comes to really men really, truly telling us, like, this is what success is for me. This is what I want in my life. You feel me? This is how I view relationships. This is how I view marriage. This is how I view certain things in life. This is what is very, like, I feel like sometimes men don't make it plain enough with what they want, like we said earlier. So, like on Saturday, that's that like one of my questions was, and I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on. So one of my questions was for the men, but like, so what's your ideal life? Like, what is success to you? And also, like, when it comes to like different roles, different things like that, like what do you feel like this is what it is? This is how I view life. This is what I believe about relationships. This is what I believe about certain things. So like, how do y'all feel about that when it comes to certain things?
Based off of success, my ideal picture of success is really stability and security. Really being able to have a family, to be able to provide for my family, to be able to really be able to build something with someone so whereas I can be able to take them to that next level and be able to guide them and them help me build to that next level. I want to be able to have children. Children is always, that in that big picture of what my ideal success, because I feel like growing up, we always view success as just solely money and solely just financial gain. And now that I'm at the point of my life where financial gain is already there, what else am I looking for? What else do I want to obtain? And I really want stability, security. I want somebody that's not only going to just follow my lead, but motivate me in a lot of different ways. Be able to, okay, I see you doing that. I want to be able to do this to help you do this because I need to be motivated. If I'm not motivated, then it's never going to work.
Right.
So it's a lot of different things. What's your idea, brother?
My idea, I think my idea is success. I kind of been trying to get to that these last couple years, bro. But like Darren said, like stability, like making sure me and my partner straight, like traveling with my partner and stuff like that. Like, a lot goes into it, but I'm always trying. I'm always looking for. I think for me, I'm always looking for the next move. Like I'm always looking to to level up. Like this past year, leveled up in my job for they paid the shit out of me. Trying to get on different business ventures outside of my job. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to make sure that I got all my ducks in order.
One thing I think that you said was important to this conversation is sometimes men feel like they can't be in a relationship while they're going through their learning phase. Right. Like they don't like to expose, like you said, that phase of them not being, you feel me, or at their best. Or
can I ask, what's the reason why? Are you scared that another person is going to like being?
I feel like
no, not at all.
I just feel like sometimes men don't like them not having it all together or making it seem like when it comes to that leadership role, like we were saying, when it comes to like them leading, like imagine like sometimes. Like men don't like to come to the table and say like, I don't have it. I don't know what we're doing. I don't have it all together. I'm not sure what direction we're going in. And right now I'm trying to figure out my life while I'm trying to handle this relationship too. So like
But that misconstrues what they say. They want somebody that's going to build with them. They want somebody that's going to stay down with them. Somebody
It's a pride thing,
Depends on
though.
where
It's
you
a-
meet them in his life.
But my
Because
thing is that when they get that opportunity, when they are broke, to be with somebody and be like, "Hey, I don't have it right now. Are you going to stick by me?" They don't do that. They tend to shut people out, have a little fling, and try to do their thing on the side because they feel like in themselves.
I think
they can't
sometimes
provide
men
for certain things.
I like it's crazy because sometimes I think like a lot of men, and I'm gonna say like I won't say most, but I think like it's a split dynamic. But like some men feel like, you feel me, work comes first, and then after a while, after like I need to have my career, like I'm career driven. Like sometimes men are career driven, where it's like, you feel me, I don't want a relationship right now. I just want to worry about my money, my success, have a thriving career, and then when I'm ready for something, then that's when I'll decide to do it. But for now, I'm just doing me. I'm just worrying about, you know, stacking rent and get to the money. And that's why he said what's important is where you meet a nigga in his life, what he want to do. You feel me?
But I also think with guys, it's the emotion part, understanding their emotions. You know, like women, it's easy. We understand, we know how we feeling, but with guys, I feel like they kind of, some of them typically struggle to understand, like when they're going through something, they're going through all these emotions, how to really handle them and how to really interpret it and express that to people. Because a lot of guys, most guys keep a lot of shit in, like, and then like, so it's just like, that's why I really do agree. It depends on where you meet, because you might meet a guy who's fucked up, but he like stick with me. You get what I'm saying? And y'all take off, and then you might meet a guy like, you know, like I'm not there yet. So it's just like I really do. It's like all where he feels like within himself, because that kind of is like a pride and an ego thing. You get what I'm saying? So you want to be a guy. Of course, he want to be dominant. He wants to lead. But I think when they know that they don't have the ability to do that yet, or they're not really sure if they can or are capable of doing that, it makes like it pushes them down.
Yeah.
But they don't say that, and that's what I'm saying.
And
like,
that is a problem.
You don't give a woman the option to choose to stay down with you when you don't have a thing, because you force them out. Like, I don't have the money, I can't do this for her, I can't provide for dates, I can't, stuff that don't even matter.
Yeah, and that's where
she might be a chef and can cook it up and fix a little date in the house, but y'all don't even get to that point because y'all won't even take the chance to be like, look, I can't do the extraness, but this is what I can do, and let her have the opportunity to choose.
And it goes back to what we talked about earlier, making it plain and making it clear where you are, what you're doing, and so we can decide what we want to do. Don't lead me on.
Don't make no decision for me, please.
You know, like, don't make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. Also, please don't lie about where you are. Like, don't lie and say, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm here, I'm there.
Like, don't do that. Like,
don't sell me no dreams, like you said earlier. Don't do all of that. Make it very plain and clear. Make it very plain and clear.
What they say on Instagram when you meet a nigga, he don't have the money that you.
Oh yeah, like
what they say?
What was that? What was
that post?
Hey, say it again, because I
where's
didn't
the
see
money that you had from?
I saw that.
from
You don't
before,
got
from the jump.
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
He broke. Like, wait a minute. Why when I get with you, you broke? But
I don't know that. I mean,
I know which one you're talking
personally, that phase that you guys are talking about, that learning phase, that broke phase, for me, it was like, okay, I know where I'm at, and I can't truly be with anybody right now because I can't grow with you until I grow by myself.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to accept that. Like, you have to be able to miss out on certain things to be able to put yourself ahead. And then you may be able to get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm above water. We ain't Michael Phelps around this motherfucker, but I can be able to do things from time to time. So it truly just depends.
I feel like women go through that phase too, because I feel like I went through that phase when I was in my last semester of college, and I was interning, but I couldn't work. So it was like me just focusing on my internship, me focusing on what's going to happen after. It was like I felt like I wasn't really able to be anything to anyone because I was like
driven.
I was so driven. It's like I have to do this, I have to do this, and it was like I felt myself like even like with my friends, I wasn't interacting as much because it was like my mind was so set. I'm like I have to.
Sometimes you have to do that, and you know what's so crazy? My next question was like, have you ever been scared of your own potential? And this goes back to like what I said in the very beginning. I think the problem was like I was very afraid of the next steps. Like, okay, like with this, sometimes like, you know, with putting yourself out there and, you know, just showing your personality and who you are, sometimes you expose a lot of stuff about yourself. And what I wasn't prepared for was really like putting myself out. Like I thought I was like, oh, you know, I'm doing a podcast. All this. But when I really got into really learning myself and knowing myself and really like indulging in certain habits, like I say all the time, I go back and rewatch my podcast all the time because it shows me significant growth in just my character alone, and me as an individual, as you know, being more business savvy, being more business forward, being more aware of how I speak to people, how I talk to people, yelling over people, you know, different things like that. Sometimes you have to like conserve, like, you know, just make some adjustments and conserve and like really like get into the work of you, because I'm just like, all right, I'm a little wild right here. You know, like I go back and like, I was a little yelling right here. Like maybe I shouldn't have drunk that much. Like, let me chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really like getting into yourself and really assessing yourself and your character. Like, so I definitely understand, but I'm going to end it for tonight. It was really a great conversation. Please continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the love and the support. I thank all of you guys for being on this session tonight and really just sharing your perspective and your, you know, thoughts and different things like that. I really appreciate all your comments. Anybody who comes on here, I really always appreciate all the love and support. So thank you guys. I'm gonna let you, because I did not introduce you guys, but if you guys want to go around the room and, you know, just introduce yourself tonight and, you know, just share your little social media or Instagram and different things like that. And then we'll just end the session for tonight.
Yeah, I'm Ed. I ain't going to do all the Instagram shit. But y'all know what's up.
I'm Darren.
I'm Chloe.
Kendra.
All right. And, you know, as always, it's your girl, Digga Dex. Thank you so much. Good night. And please tune in again for my next session.